Um, Especially in the first half, how important was it to get the ball in the short corner and just inside in general? It seemed like things were really going well when you guys were getting the ball inside.
Yeah, that was that was kind of our game plan against the zone. The way they play their zone, they're going to give up that high post area, that middle area, and that was our point of emphasis was to try to get the ball into there, and then we have 3 or 4 options that we do from that. I'm going to call them rotations, maybe not options. After we settled down a little bit, then I thought we had some pretty good looks in there. And then I thought in the second half, what I was really happy with, I know Alba played to exhaustion. She couldn't hardly walk there at the end, but she was the best one for us to have when they tried to extend their zone. Then we just did the exact same thing. We just extended it, and then we were able to really cause them, I thought, some problems by us getting the ball into the middle, collapsing, and then kicked it, and then pretty soon it started to create a couple of one-on-ones, and the one Alba took at the end and was able to finish that was huge. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to change. We'll have to change a little bit and see a little bit for Monday, but yeah, that was kind of the plan.
Gerald, talk about the in play. What did you want to do defensively on their possession, and then what was kind of the plan coming down the court after that?
David, what we wanted to do is at the end like that, what we'll do is we'll switch everything and try to give up no threes. That's all we're going to do. We will let them even make a layup if they want. Up 3. Our thing is let's try to switch high. Let's try to get a hand up. Don't foul the 3. Even if they make it, the worst it's going to be is a possible overtime, and do nothing with the 2. So if somebody even drives and goes for a layup, what I was really concerned about at one point was, one of the twins, because they're really good at it, putting the ball on the floor, not the end one, but before that, and trying to draw something when it was a 2-point game. Then what I looked at, I'll be really really honest with you, is as soon as I seen Quinn had the ball in her hands, then I just told her, you got it. And instead of calling a timeout and advancing it, as soon as it was like, hey, I had a really good feeling Quinn was going to have the ball in her hands, and I'm going to let Quinn make that play, because all we had to do is even get to the basket or whatever. Thought we got a good look, and then this comes off the right way, and Jay's there. So I'd like to say I designed that up, but the only thing I designed up was Quinn. Didn't even design that, but let Quinn do her thing. But so great effort. That's talk about playing 40 minutes. And you got to make every play, and that time that was playing 40 minutes to get that tip in.
Coach, were you somewhat surprised how quick Quinn got the shot up? Because I think it was 8 seconds left when she took the ball in. I don't know when she fired it off. I think there might have been 3 seconds on the clock.
3 seconds. That was like 3.7 seconds or 3.2 seconds. No, not really. At some point, we got to let them play. You got to put some trust, and you got to let them build some confidence and some understanding. So you know what, I feel totally confident in what Quinn and Alba and Tommy and some of those guys make as decisions. And you know what, I always try to tell them, for us to be where we want to be, I think down the road. In a month or so, if the season keeps going, we'll talk about that. We'll look at a film and go, okay, should we have held it a little bit longer? And if she says, no, I felt really, really good about it. You know what? I got to live with that, because at some point we got to let kids play and figure out who they are and who we are.
Gerald, you're down 6 or 7, and then you go on that run to take your first lead of the game. What kind of changed, you think, in that kind of 10-0 spurt in the fourth?
I think that what happened is I think they got a little bit tired. I know we were tired. I think they got tired, and we know, that's one of the things in, 18 years we've harped here that, you know what, C-level teams, the end of the second and the end of the fourth, you keep the pressure on them, they're going to get tired. I also thought that they went through a sequence where they tried to play some man-to-man on us, and they're not a great man team. They're a great zone team. They're not a great man team. And I thought we caused them some problems with that. And I thought Marta was able during that time period also to give us a presence inside that had to be guarded. And so now all of a sudden, that they're actually a couple times, rotated off doubles to try to get something. We were able to kick it out and get a good look and make a three. So, I think that there was a couple of things that happened. But what's more important for us is, in our talk all week is you got to make shots. Against Fresno, you got to make shots. You're going to have scoring opportunities. You're going to have looks because of the way they play their zone, and you got to be able to make some shots. And there was a couple stretches where we made some shots, and then I thought we created a couple of layups out of the defensive transition that we made a great play and ended up with a couple of layups. So all those opportunities I think kind of build up and let you go on maybe a little run like that.
You held them scoreless for 4.5 minutes in the third quarter, and Ola tied it at 44 with that three. Do you think that kind of gave you guys a little bit of life?
Well, I think definitely. I mean, I think we were just kind of hovering there for a while. After first half we got down and then we cut it to 5, and we're telling them we're going to make a couple of minor adjustments here and there, and then it seemed like for a while we could get it to 2 or we could get it to 3, but we couldn't get it. Like you said, to a tie or to a lead. And then finally we made a couple of really good stops and we had a couple of good things happen. And then, like you say, you finally hit a shot that ties you up. And that kind of then, I think, all of a sudden, sometimes, I'm going to call us a defensive team. I think that all of a sudden kids can just take okay, here we go. We're okay. We can score. Because when you're down 2 or 3 all the time, and you're constantly defending, the defensive pressure just gets too great on you because you're knowing the time's clicking away. Hey, if we go down 5, I don't know what's going to happen. So when we were finally able to tie it up, I think everybody, like you said, you could just kind of feel the pressure off everybody and go, okay, here we go now. And then, to your point, then we even fell back down. I mean, we held them down in the shot clock, and then we made a silly foul at the end of a shot clock, and then we come down and we missed a shot and gave up a 3. But to our kids' credit, they battled right back and was able to get that down and play through the stretch.
Coach, what do you say to the team when you're battling through defensively and then you give up the foul or an offensive rebound late on the shot clock to keep them from kind of getting down on themselves?
You have to just explain to them, the one play where we've got them held. It is 44-44. We come down. We have a great possession defensively. Everybody's doing their thing, and then I have a kid who I think is going to be a great player here. Try to block a shot. Okay. Well, every day in practice we talk about don't block, don't try that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Okay. So for her, that's got to be a learning experience. So for her, I grab her and tell her, okay, what are you not supposed to do? Not try to block shots. Okay, I got to have that carry over. You're fine right now. Let's carry it over for the future because once again, I think down the road, I got a couple players who are going to be really, really good. They just got to learn, like you said, those little things and make sure that they understand. Now she has an experience of why we're telling it to her in the game. So tomorrow when I show her that in film, she can actually see. So I hope she can see this is what Coach is talking about. The shot clock would have ran out. I was there anyway. The block shot doesn't matter, and then we come right back. So yeah, you just kind of keep them. Hey, one more possession. What we've talked about here forever is we talk about winning. We used to talk about winning 4-minute stretches. We said you got to play 40 minutes, 4 minutes at a time. So now what we've gone is we go. You got to play 40 minutes, 5 minutes at a time, because you don't have to win the whole game. You got to win enough 5-minute possessions to give yourself a chance. And so when you talk about we go back to the Denver game. Well, this happened for 4 minutes. Well, that's how we practice. Also, we practice to do something for 4 or 5 minutes at a time. And if you can do enough of those, then the score will take care of itself. If you can do enough small increments and win enough of those.
Gerald, did you feel at at one point in the fourth quarter where, and I know you've already played 2 conference games, but this seems kind of more like the start of conference over again. Did you feel like your veterans, Quinn and Alba, kind of stepped up where they knew that they had to rise to kind of the big moment at that point?
Yeah, I thought, I'll be honest with you, I think Quinn, Alba, and Tommy all understand, because they've been through these at home and on the road. They understand, what it's going to take to win. And, once again, this is a whole new experience. I thought Ola gave us great minutes. I thought everybody, to be honest with you, gave us good, solid, quality minutes. But they've never played yet against the defending champions and the to-win champions. And, the other 3 have. They've played at home, on the road. They got an idea of what to expect. And I think, each game, I hope the inexperienced ones, including Diney, because Diney hasn't played against these guys, keep understanding a little bit more what conference play becomes, because we just all know each other so well. I mean, you over the years, you just know what they're going to do, and they know what you're going to do. And sometimes it's like today, who gets the last play. So, but I thought all 3 of my veterans stepped up, played very hard. And I think Jay, I think after Jay settled down, and she's been through the conference wars last year, kind of got settled in the second half and battled and fought and understood what it was like to play against Fresno.
Coach, following up on Quinn, it seems like her mental mindset, which is a little bit of a redundancy, her mentality is really, really strong, and it stands out. What can you say about her leadership and the way she attacks?
I just think Quinn, I think the world of all my players, but I think Quinn is just, Quinn is just that Quinn is the person that you really say, I don't care what sport it is in or whatever you have, you want a Quinn, because Quinn, Quinn's going to give you everything she has until there's no more to give, and she's going to expect, and she does expect, the other ones to do that, and that's also in practice. And that's she expects a lot of herself, and she expects a lot of her teammates in practice to understand, to learn, to not keep making the same mistakes over and over. And she does it in a way where it's not hey, you can get this done. It's a positive but stern way. You can get this done. You can do that. And I think her leadership all over. I mean, when you talk about the game, I talk about practice, I talk about off the court. I think she's a great leader and just a great teammate and somebody you want in your corner. And I don't care what you're doing. I'd have Quinn in my corner doing anything.
Kind of along those lines with Quinn's leadership was I was asking Alba and I was asking Jay. It looked like there was a time in the third quarter particularly where the shots were struggling to fall down and players were getting a little bit hesitant. Outside of Quinn seemed like the only one that was avoided all that. What do you say to the team when you see them kind of looks like they're maybe passing up shots or they're a little bit hesitant?
Shoot it. That's what I say. Shoot it. What do you want me to say? I mean, shoot it. That's like Jay. I'm really happy for Jay that Jay made the play at the end of the game. Jay been shooting the ball tremendously in practice. Tremendously. She had another great week of practice, getting her feet set, getting a shot up. She missed a couple today, and then she got tentative and didn't want to shoot the ball no more. Hey, you got to shoot it. That's what you're out there for. If you don't want to shoot it and you're going to pass those up, then I just tell them I got to find somebody else who will. Now, she's Jay or Quinn and those guys. They've proven over time that they can make those shots. I'm not telling somebody to shoot it that's not what they do. But yeah, you just got to tell them you got to shoot it. You got to shoot it until I tell you to stop. And sometimes I have a hard time. I'll be honest with you. I played in the Peach Basket era. I don't understand how people can be tentative when the coach is telling you to shoot it, because you wouldn't have had to tell me 2 times. I would have, I'll shoot it up. But that's just what you got to do. You got to understand who you are. We always talk about understand who you are and why you're out there. You don't have to be anybody else but who you are. but you got to be good at who you are. And if you miss a couple shots, hey, you know what? It's okay. As long as they're good ones, keep shooting it.
What do you kind of expect the response from Fresno to be? I mean, this is a high-powered offense that you did pretty much everything you wanted to defensively. You kept them off the foul line, which I know you had talked about. How do you expect them to respond on Monday?
I think it's going to be another knockdown dragout. I mean, they are who they are, and we are who we are. They're going to push the ball up in transition as much as they can. They're going to run their on-ball series, their on-ball stuff. It's all we call is on-ball stuff. They run about 4 or 5 things. They're going to continue. The Cavender twins are going to be aggressive. It's going to be back to the same thing. For us, it's going to be another matter of, can we make shots against their zone? Now, the only thing that I might see, but I don't think they'll do it because of being at altitude and being tired. Maybe the only thing I would look at is maybe getting a little more aggressive against us in their press. Maybe extending that, but then you're extending a lot of energy at altitude to do what you're really not. But, the bottom line is we're going to have to make shots. And when you play Fresno and you play their zone, you have to make shots. You're going to have opportunities. It's what you do with those opportunities.